Hey gang, Sensei Tom Gillis, Rising Phoenix Martial Arts, Okotoks, Alberta, Canada. Helping me out today is my UK is Matt, and on camera is Evan. This is our weekly debrief ending January 20th. It was Kian Hapu week, so for those of you who are not familiar with Bujinkan and our terminology, the Kian Hapu is basically a set of fundamental katas, fundamental waza that everyone in Bujinkan is supposed to know and know well. I really like doing these weeks. I find a lot of people in martial arts get bored of their fundamentals and they don't want to go back and relook at them. But every time that I redo the fundamentals and the fundamental week, I always get something more out of it. So what I wanted to discuss briefly on camera today and to give you something to look at is the timing in a shoulder lock. So in the Kian Hapu, there's a shoulder lock that's referred to as onikadaki, and lots of people have got different ways to show this, but essentially what we want at the end of the day is Matt comes in with a punch, and I slip the punch and I do a shoulder lock here. And this is essentially what we're after. And there's lots of different training progressions to get here. But the difficulty that a lot of people have, actually Matt, let's do an switch places, is their uke will come in with the punch, and they'll do stuff like this, so they'll move on the angle, and they'll do a Jodan uke, and he freezes there like a statue. And then so I do my Jodan uke, and then I grab the wrist, and then I reach under and I grab the elbow. His arm's been here the whole time, he hasn't thrown another punch, and then I can concentrate on my posture to bend the arm. Everything's hunky-dory, it's great. But realistically, that's not how shoulder locks work, and we know that because if he holds his arm out, now I'm a lot bigger and a lot stronger than Matt. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I am. And watch this, 2-on-1, and he just stops me from doing the shoulder lock. So it's not supposed to work that way. It's not supposed to work on the positive cycle of an attack. So what we were working on was this, is he punches and I slip here and he cycles the punch back. And it's actually my hand on the elbow that catches it first, and then I grab the wrist. So just changing that timing changes stuff. 1, 2. Now you guys can notice too, I'm getting out of the way because I know he punches, I'm going to be here, I'm going to catch the negative cycle, and I'm going to move out of the way of that punch. Now if we slow that down a little bit, I'm actually reaching under his elbow first into this negative space. And when he cycles the punch back, it's going to be this is what I'm relying on. I'm going to attach to the elbow first, and then the wrist second. Now, we look at Ura Onikadaki. Same shoulder lock, but on the outside. A lot of times you see this. People grab the wrist, and they reach over, and they do their figure 4 grip, and then they turn back. But taking the timing out of the last one, when he punches, I should actually be here. And then when his hand comes back, I've captured the elbow. Now I attach here second. Now, that is fun to play with just in and of itself. But watch how the timing changes with the stick. So he comes in with the punch, I capture the elbow first. So there's my Tessenkan or my Abaniko, depending on your school. His hand comes back, and then there's the wrist. So again, I'm capturing the negative cycle. Watch to the outside. If I capture the wrist first and I come through here, now I have to leave all this space and I have to try to thread that through. He's not going to stand there and let me. But now I can come in here with a thrust, encourage him to bring his hand back, then he captures the stick where I want it anyway. Now here is the wrist, and here's my counter pressure on the stick. So anyway, those were, thanks man, those were just a couple lessons that we gleaned this week from playing, again, with fundamentals. Onikadaki is a fundamental shoulder lock in our system. It's probably a fundamental shoulder lock in most martial arts that are combative and have got a striking, attaching, joint locks and takedown element. If that shoulder lock's in your system, play around with the timing, change the timing up like that. Make sure that you're learning how to capture things on the negative cycle and play with the timing of the attachments, and you'll get totally different results. It was something new that it was just kind of a light bulb moment for me this week, and it's really going to change how I do those shoulder locks. Thanks guys for your help.